Okay, we're looking at the two pieces of the side frames for the trucks, and for a reason. I I was having some trouble with the tender when I was on the track. I didn't video it because it was too weird and intermittent, and I just worked on it and made some notes. But anyway, I spent the day now redesigning these. Now, I don't mean redesign, just tweaking them. Okay, I thought they were in some areas weak and in some areas not well designed. Put it that way. One thing I wanted to point out is the pivot frame sticks down below on this one, and it's flush with this one. Now I know this one has that raised piece, but what I realized was if I push these wheels down a tiniest bit, that's going to give me more clearance on the skirt. And the skirt is it's basically the same height, so it shouldn't have changed that much. And what I'm finding is it seemed to be a little close, and I thought maybe I need to push these down. At the same time, I found other dimensions in here that I needed to correct or improve for the assembly process. I was getting melting coming up through the bushings for the axles when I pressed them into the other plate, the outer plate, and I found that hole needed to be a little deeper. I also found that these caps were extremely thick and didn't need to be so thick, so I found I could bring those in a little bit, and that'll give us a little easier rotation as we go around. And what else did I do? I did some other stuff. Well, I did some practice. I'm changing the method or the technique. Here, what I want to do, instead of using wire, insulated wire, I'm using just plain old copper. This is called a bus connector, a bus wire. It's solid copper. It's 24 gauge, so it's highly conductive. But I made a groove. If I flip these over, I think I can do that. Yeah, there you go. I've made a groove in the back piece here, so that what you're going to do, there's a hole here. You can tilt this up. So you start by poking the wire up through this hole here, right there. Poke it up through the hole so you get a piece out and stop. Then you take it and you wrap it around this inner lining here and form it with like a screwdriver. You push it down, you push it in, or actually you bring it out of here and you bring it over this way. That's right. And you wrap it around here, and then when you get to this piece, you just go down the line. And when you go down this line, then you wrap it around here, and then you come back and you wrap it around here, and then you come here and you wrap it around here, and then you can cut it off. And then you push it into that groove, and it seems like it's going to stay. It's a snug fit. I just push it into that groove with a screwdriver like this. Just went around tapping it down, and then when I put in my bushings, it has contact with that copper on all edges. And then when we after we've glued these two pieces together, you then insert the brass all the way, and it will go through both pieces, and the glue will help seal these two together but also hold the brass bushing in place. Then the only thing I need to do is press in my pivot pin for the where I'm going to mount it, and you usually do one on one side, one on the other, because you want them to be a right and a left. That's how you do it. You could put both, but it's a waste, and you're going to melt this area and might weaken it if you do that, so you don't want to do too much of this. I'm going to try to do that. I'm printing my third set right now, which is usually about the time when I get it right. I'm not going to show you what I'm doing because it's messy, and you shouldn't see mess stuff too much. There, you can see the machine is going through this calibration part where it measures the level of the bed, and then it creates offsets for that coordinate. It's pretty smart. Pretty smart dude. As you can see, this is going to be 36 minutes for one side frame. That's because I'm going 90% thick, and I want these to be strong. I'm going to wire them up, glue them together, practice the glue, practice the wiring, and make sure that works out smoothly. Insert my pieces, make sure the axles can fit nice. They got good contact. Good contact. The threaded pivot point is working well. I'll put the screw in, make sure it's holding up right. And then I'm going to build 3 more and build them for the rest of the truck. And then, meanwhile, I'm going to take off these American Flyer wheel sets. I only had one wheel set that I could throw in here, and you see the difference. It's really nice. I'm going to make a full set of 6 of those wheels while these are printing. And then I think I'm hoping that this problem then would be semi-rectified. I'll put it on the track and I'll test it. The other thing I might want to do is notch, like I mentioned this before, because this arm here is longer than this arm. From the pivot point is here, so this swings more. So if this is hitting, I can come in here and make a little notch there and there on both sides, and that should be okay. The other thing that I saw, which this one I didn't really see because these wires here in a harness are way too long, right? These ones I tried to make nice and tidy, right, for that purpose, just so they could be neat looking and all that, and not sloppy like anybody we know, right? Okay. And what I found was they could be a little too tight in this turn. This turn here, where we're going in like this, that wiring may be too tight, and it might be pulling the tender a little bit, and that may have caused the front derail of that truck. So I'm going to be checking that when I get the new wheels and everything on. I'll be testing it, but I'm now also going to be testing for that. I also did not put the other locking rubber wheel on that fell off, so I have one rubber, one not. So this is a little caca as it goes down, so that can cause some issues. So I either got to take this one off or put the other one back on, and I'll figure that out when I get the chance. And then what I want to get in this condition, I want to get it to run smoothly around the track, pull some trains and do something, and full operation, forward, reverse, and puff and chuff and all that. Okay. Then I want to. Then I'm going to work on where does this board go? How do I have to build it and assemble it? How much room is there inside there? Where can it go? Can it go vertically? Can it go horizontally? Can it go in the firebox? I don't know. Right now, it's just sitting on that landing there of the where the fireman would be, but you can't stay there. I'm confident the systems are doing what they're supposed to do. The fan is cooling. Oh, and I got to make a notch. You can see how this was flattened to come by here, and it does. It's right there. But I didn't realize that I added thickness to the tender's body so that there's material on the inside. So I'm going to have to make a notch in the lower part of the body on the inside to clear this boss from mounting the speaker. Oops. Anyway, that's just, I can do it in the print, but on this one, because it's already made, I'm going to have to do the grinding on it with the Dremel, clearance it, and make it fit. Okay, then I'll print a new one. All right. And we know that thing takes 5 hours, right? Okay, great. I did put the wire capture device on, so it's like a clamp for the wiring to keep it nice and tidy. And I also put clearance holes in it so I could be pulling some air in from underneath and blowing it over, sucking it over the electronics so they stay cool. And that fan is working like a charm. I got it right back in the back where it's just perfect, and it's a blower fan, so it's actually pulling the air in and then pushing it down. So I didn't need a hole in the back, some silly grid or any kind of a thing. So that turned out nice. Digital speaker is working. This speaker's working well. I haven't tried it with the body on, but you'll hear it. It should be okay. Everything else is doing what it's supposed to. The smoke is working beautifully. and then of course once I get this figured out, this glob of wire will be cut back, so it'll be nice and tidy as well. I've made all the changes I've needed to in order to make the assembly as smooth as I can, and that's working well. I have the idle fan adjusted, so if you stop running and then you add track power, like you're in neutral at a station, the engine still lights up and the smoke is idle smoke, and the compression, pop-off valve is still going and all that kind of stuff. So that's cool. Any case, I just had an idea. I could steal these wheels, couldn't I, and shorten my cycle time for testing. Oh, notice these wheels are the older style of running wire across the top. That seemed to bother people. I don't know why. Just, I don't know if we can do that. At any rate, somehow this fits better. I guess maybe this tender's longer. I don't know why. There's so much. Seems like there's more room over here. Oh, maybe these trucks are shorter than these trucks. That could be shorter, closer together. That could make the problem for the swing too, couldn't it? If that's out. Oh, take a peek at that. Let's see what we got. From here to here, let's just say from the middle, get my thumb out of the way here. From the middle of the pivot to the center of the wheel is about 35. Flip you over again. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh my, this one's 40. Whoa, a lot longer. Let's go from the center of the pivot to the end of the truck. 48. Center of the pivot, look at that. Oh my. This truck is about that much longer. Another thing. So I lengthened it and kept the skirt, and also I found that I lowered it. I raised the wheels up into here, so that's another thing that messed up. So well, let's see what it looks like. The skirt may not make the cut. It really is part of the streamline thing, isn't it? That's all part of the streamline thing, I thought. I really like the skirt. Heck. Oh, boy. Well, we'll see. Tomorrow's another day. I hate to just keep dragging this thing out. It makes me crazy, but there's no sense sending it to somebody if it's not right. That's just the way it is. When I worked in medical, I worked in aerospace, you don't send stuff out unless it's right. You just don't. Okay, so it's there. I don't have the resources. It's just me. So I got to work with Margaret. Oh, God. So at any rate, the shopping took longer than we thought. It's already 5:30, but this took longer than I thought. But I made a lot of little improvements for the assembly process as well. So, I added radiuses so you can push the wire down and just bend it around, and it'll flow right through this duct and then out. And everything should fit together nicely. Press it in, it'll work, it'll stay, it'll be solid, it'll be stiffer. Oh, and I changed the radiusing and did some other things here. I changed the detail out of this. It just got too messy for me to maintain. I brought this back, this edging material, one for stiffness, but two, I thought it looked nice. I cannot get it up as high as the original Northern. I just can't do that much because I need the material in there. I need the meat. So I'm putting a big hole right here. So if you can see through that, you just got not that much. That's why I'm going to 90% fill rate. It should be thick. Any rate, I'm hoping this will pull together and we'll be done with the wheels. And then all I have to work on is the mounting of this and the fitment of my lid. And I may have to do some fitting and grinding on the ash pan and the firebox. Those are the only unknown, not perfect unknowns things, So everything else is really, really stable. Feels good too. All right, I gotta run. Later, gang.